So today I'm going to be doing a front diff fluid change on the Sportsman 570. This is a 2015 model, but this will work on most other models. As long as the front diff is about the same procedure should apply. So as you can see, the fill plug's behind the winch. So today we're going to have to remove the winch. I have a front bumper with lights. Those will have to get removed as well. So I'll go through the procedures and show you how I do it. So the first thing that's going to happen is going to loosen the bolts on the top of the front bumper. It's a 1/2 inch socket, 1/2 inch wrench. There's 2 bolts here at the top. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to take the bolts off to remove the front bumper. So I already got one off, so this is the last one here. Now the front bumper should come right off. There's a 9mm bolt here, another one here, and then we have a T25 torque nut down here and one over here. So those are going to get removed. That's going to take the plastic off so we can get at our winch. And then we're just going to suspend the light bar up here with the bolts afterwards. Okay, so now that the plastic's removed away from the winch, I just put the 9mm bolts back in just to hold my light bar, just because it's easier than just trying to disconnect all the wires and such. So after that plastic's removed, we pretty much have our winch exposed. Next thing we want to do is remove the 10mm nuts from the winch, so you get your positive and negative. Make sure your bike's off and there's no power so you don't short out against the bike. Alright, so now that we have the leads off the winch and our bolts in the back here are removed, it's time to take the winch out. Because the radiator is so close to the legs on the back of my winch mount, everyone's might be a bit different, I don't tilt the winch up because I don't want to hit the fins and break the rad. So when I remove the winch, I tend to pull up and let the legs bend down, and then I just maneuver it out sideways, and then it comes right out and I have full access to the front diff. So as you can see here, I got it pulled most of the way out, and I usually bring it down like this and right out. Now I have full access to everything. Got a little bit of leaves and stuff I got to clear out of there from last night, but we'll sort that out and we'll start to remove the fluid. Alright, so we're going to remove the fill plug here from the front diff. I already cracked the seal so we know we can get in. So I'll probably just leave it like that right now. Then what I'm going to do is drain from the drain plug, remove all the fluid. I'll show you where that's at. So that is right there, that's the drain plug. So now that the fill plug's cracked and we know that we can get into it, we're safe to remove this and drain all the fluid out. Okay, so now that we've got the fluid drained out, we've got the plug back in, we're going to take the fill hole plug out and we're going to put the Polaris demand drive fluid in. One thing you want to make sure is that this is not the same as the rear drive train or the rear differential, so just make sure you pick the right stuff up. Ask the guys at the Polaris store just to ensure you get the right thing. And yeah, we're going to put that in. It's about 300 milliliters that goes in. Basically, as long as you fill it up to where it just starts to come out of the hole, that's all you need. Alright, so I just finished filling the front diff with fluid. I just filled it to the top of the fill hole right here. Put the plug back in. Again, remember to put your drain plug back in underneath. Okay, one thing I did forget to mention is before you drain the diff, take a look in the fill hole here and make sure that your fluid is still at the top. That'll kind of give you an indication whether you have like a diff leaking problem. So it could be leaking here at the seals on the axles or at the pinion shaft at the back. Sometimes you might not notice that it's leaking because of the mud and water washing it off, but yeah, as long as your fluid's still at the top here when you're doing the change, you know you don't have a leaking seal anywhere. So that's just one thing to take note I didn't mention earlier. So now that that's all filled up, tightened up, I'm going to start putting everything back together. I'm probably not going to video that just because it's the reverse order. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps somebody else out. And we'll try to do some more maintenance videos in the future. Thanks for watching.